Hey, what's going on YouTube? Lionel here, and I do have a fragrance review for you guys. Excuse me. This is probably one of the most talked about fragrances as of recently, just due to just the hype and the marketing ingenuity that surrounds this fragrance house. The fragrance is Pure Shot. Pure Shot was created in 2012. It is considered a woody aromatic. Um, to get real quick into the notes, in the top you have juniper berry and mint. In the heart you have cardamom and pepper, and in the base you have patchouli, and I guess we call it sequoia wood. So with that, um, let's talk about the frame. Let's talk about it first of all. I mean, this was received. The initial perception of the reception was quite high. I think there was a high hopes for the fragrance. I think that a lot of people really expected quite a bit from this fragrance, and I would say overall, I mean, I would say 80 to 20. It has been a failure for the House of Mugler. Um, I mean, there's a ton of it on eBay already. Um, Not to mention, a lot of people have been selling it just on the fragrance swaps and even on Facebook. So um, let's talk about the presentation. First of all, the presentation is the classic Mugler presentation: white bottle, blue star. Um, uh, Overall, I think it's a well-made fragrance. But let me get into the review. Um, One of the biggest problems I think I've heard consistently is the longevity and the projection. While I don't think that it's terrible, it's not great either. It's definitely as it he had to. Barry Mugler had to use the pure name to really push this fragrance because he already had Iceman, Sun Essence, and a bunch of other fragrances like that. So he couldn't come out that way. He had to use the pure name uh, to boost the marketability of this fragrance. And I think that may have caused some of the biggest problems um, for this fragrance because when you think of the purest coffee, you think of A-Man, you think of pure malt, you think, I mean, pure, I don't know, A-Man is not a pure, but it's a pure. A-Man, I mean, you got coffee, you got malt, you got Havana. Each of those fragrances really captured something in, in its in its name. So you think of pure malt, malty, you know, alcohol, beverages, that type of thing. Um, Coffee, I was never impressed with. I would actually put this one above coffee, just because of the hype. Maybe at retail, coffee is okay, but I would even argue that the projection and longevity issues that this one has, pure coffee has also, what I think even more hype. So, and then finally you have Havana, which captures, you know, the cigar, the honey, the whole Cuban thing, and they've done a great job with each of those. Coffee, minus its failures in so many areas for me, still captures sort of a pure coffee type of vibe. So pure shot, what's a shot? Could have went pure mint, could have went pure something, but he went with pure shot. It's a shot. I mean, if you look at the marketing, you look at the commercial, you look at the the flyers and the inserts. I mean, we did. I would argue he did a really good job on explaining what pure shot is. Um, so let's get into it. Uh, Here's what you get. Initial spray, you're gonna get this sweet kind of blast of sweet fruity juniper berry right off the top, and immediately this mint comes in and really just kind of, it doesn't dominate, but your nose is attacked by this fresh mint leaf, cooling, icy mint leaf, um, and then the mint stays there, but then this juniper berry comes back, but it comes back with this soapy quality. At first, it's kind of fruity, but that kind of goes away kind of quickly, and then this soapy quality joins the mint. So now what you have is this. Go go, Josh, sit down. Sorry, guys. Um, you what you have now is this soapy, minty thing, and immediately, I mean, I'm talking about another 15 minutes. This pepper comes in, and yeah, later. Just sit down. Yeah, I'll get in a second. Sit down. Sorry about that, guys. Like if I restart, my computer messes up, so I really want to get this review out. So then this pepper comes along, kind of gives it this spiciness with the mint. You know that mint can kind of add this kind of a spicy vibe to it, but uh, uh, the pepper comes along with it. You know, really taking it out of the aquatic phase and but giving it this refreshing, spicy, minty, soapy thing. Right, that's what you have, and then um, you know about 2 hours into the fragrance. Um, not even that long. I would even argue right around the time the pepper comes around, maybe 45 minutes to the fragrance, this patchouli comes and starts to make it deeper. But the problem is, I would argue that I think he should have made the patchouli, push the fragrance up. I mean, it should have, the patchouli should have made it, angel. It should have made it function like angel functions. The patchouli and angel really gives it some a kick, a push. Like it's almost like he was afraid to let this thing be vibrant and bright and too heavy. I think he was. I don't know if he was concerned with that or not, or thought it wouldn't be well received. But given the market with the pures, people want something heavy and sort of loud and bright and vibrant. And he sort of pulls it back. And that's where, in about a couple of hours, the projection kind of takes, it starts to draw into the skin, but the patchouli gives it some depth. So it's kind of weird. The patchouli just doesn't form. It just doesn't perform the way it should perform. Um, so then, so now you're 2 hours in the fragrance. Say 3 hours into the fragrance. Um, 3 hours into the fragrance, the mint is still around. It still has the soapy quality, and the pepper kind of dies down, and the patchouli takes over on sort of the spiciness of the fragrance, if you know what I mean. Um, Within about 4 hours, it's sort of close to the skin. It's really close to the skin. About 4 hours into it, you can't smell it. I mean, you can do this. Like if I sprayed it on my arm in 4 hours, which now, I mean, you can still smell it. You don't have, I don't have to put my nose on it. I can still smell it. People around you can still smell it. And at about the 6 hour mark, it draws pretty close in, and it sort of has a sort of a romantic sillage. I mean, for the most part, you would argue that. I mean, a lot of people say that it's gone in 6 hours. It's not gone. I mean, I've worn this 6 times, and I've gotten 8 hours, but I now have to dig my nose in the skin. Now, here's a catch. I wore it the other day to work, and I sprayed my clothes. I wore it like a cologne, right? I put about 7 sprays on, but I sprayed my clothes up about 3, 4 sprays on the clothes, and it lasts all day. That's the truth. I got about a little over 8 hours. I mean, in 8 hours, and people can still smell you on clothes. On the skin, very close at 4. At 6, I mean, you're digging your nose in there. At 8, you're not smelling it. I mean, you can change fragrances by the end of the day. So if you sprayed it on at 8 in the morning, and when you got home from work at 5, you can definitely put on a different fragrance, and it wouldn't interfere with it at all. What do I give Pure Shot? Um, Pure Shot is a very nice fragrance. It is a really nice, I would argue, sort of safe, very clean, very um, uh, nicely done fragrance. Its minus comes in like the smell to me is terrific. The minus comes in when we start to talk about the projection and longevity. I just expect more, um, but that could be our problems. Our problem is well, actually not our problems. Mugler's problem is he marketed this as one of the pures, so we demanded that it performs like one of the pures, and it just really didn't meet our expectation in the community. Um, so Yeah, everything is a try. Never do buy, try, pass. Um, will I own this again? I think not, because I think there's maybe other fragrances out there that I don't have to fight for, that could take its place. I will use this whole bottle. I mean, I've decanted quite a bit. Man, I'm down to here now. I'm down to 70 mils because I've given so much away because I really wanted people to get it and try it. And then again, really try to get it out there in the community and let people have at it. So finally, my grade for this is a C plus, just because of the marketing, the pure, and what it does. Um, is it a good fragrance? Yes. At cost, yes. I mean, you're gonna pay $85 for this. You're gonna pay $85 for Lacoste Essential. So I think it goes well with all the rest of the designer summer scents. I think it fits well into that era, that balloon, that um, those level of fragrances. Definitely doesn't deserve the pure name. That's for sure. So C plus. Compliment factor was pretty good. Every time I've worn it, I've got complimented on it. Um, um, uh, I like it. I think it's very, very versatile. It can be worn year round. So I mean, I give it a C plus. I would give it a B, if it projected better and they didn't put it in a pure bottle. So C plus is what it is. Good compliments. I've always been complimented on it. Good overall fragrance, man. It's a good fragrance. What I tell you to buy, I would probably say there's other stuff on the market you probably can find, to really fit the bill here. So I don't know. But here's one catch. I have a fragrance on this arm that is very similar in structure, not scent really, but structure, like what it set out to do. And this fragrance will cost you about $12 for 100 milliliters, and it's this one. Can you see that? There we go. It is called Eau de Gray Flannel. Um, Not gray flannel, Eau de Gray Flannel. Um, and it has a soapy vibe, very nice fragrance. And just in case, I mean, go to Fragrantica, but here are the notes for this one. Um, the notes for this one is, man, so many in the heart. Let me tell you what you get. You sort of get some. Wait, I said wait. You get some sandalwood, some citrus, and it has a soapy vibe, with some patchouli and some musk and some woods. Overall, they're very similar in vibe and structure. I think I would even argue you probably can get away. This probably performs about like this performs on the skin. I mean, does this one have? I mean, the pure has more of a natural smell to it. It's just a bit more like it's like you paid a little more for it, but you can get away with this one. If you're looking for just a day-to-day casual fragrance, gym fragrance, you just want to wear it. You you just want to wear it. Josh, go now. Don't say anything else to me, please. Um, you just want you want to throw something on. You want to go to soccer games. You want to go to the store. Um, you're doing something like that. Man, this is a perfect fragrance for that. Um, it's a nice fragrance. This is a nice fragrance. This is a nice fragrance. This will cost you about $70 less. I would argue that you may want to try to go get your nose on this one. So that's my review. I appreciate you guys. Take care.